The year was 1960. India and Pakistan, still grappling with the wounds of partition, signed a historic agreement, the Indus Water Treaty. This wasn't just about water, it was about peace in a region scarred by conflict. The World Bank, recognizing the potential for water to become a source of tension, played a key role in brokering the deal. The treaty focused on the 6 rivers of the Indus Basin, the lifeblood of both nations. It divided these rivers, not geographically, but by the water's flow. India gained control over the eastern rivers, the Sutlej, Bas, and Ravi. Pakistan, in turn, was granted control over the western rivers, the Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. While the treaty seemed to clearly divide the waters, it wasn't as simple as drawing a line on a map. India, though granted control of the eastern rivers, wasn't given free rein. The treaty allowed Pakistan to receive a share of these waters and restricted India's ability to build large dams, ensuring water flow downstream. On the other hand, Pakistan, while granted the lion's share of the western rivers, had to acknowledge India's right to use some water for limited purposes. These included non-consumptive uses like run-of-the-river hydropower projects, albeit with certain limitations. The Indus Water Treaty, hailed as a landmark agreement, has faced increasing scrutiny in recent years, particularly from India. India's argument is simple. Times have changed, and the treaty needs to change with them. India points to its burgeoning population, now the world's largest, and the increasing demand for water resources. Climate change, with its unpredictable monsoons and shrinking glaciers, has further intensified the pressure on water availability. India argues that the treaty, drafted decades ago, didn't account for these challenges, putting India at a disadvantage. Another point of contention is India's push for clean energy. The country argues that the treaty's restrictions on hydropower projects hinder its ability to meet its energy needs sustainably. India believes it should have more flexibility in developing run-of-the-river hydropower projects on the western rivers, claiming they have minimal impact on downstream water flow. India's stance, however, isn't about disregarding the treaty altogether. Instead, it's about revisiting its provisions and adapting them to the realities of the 21st century. India seeks a more equitable distribution of water resources and greater flexibility in its utilization, all while ensuring Pakistan's water security. It's not just the treaty's broad strokes that are causing friction. Specific projects have become flashpoints in the India-Pakistan water relationship. Disputes over the construction of hydropower projects and barrages have intensified, pushing the two countries closer to the brink. One such project is the Kishanganga hydroelectric plant on the Jhelum River in Indian-administered Kashmir. Completed in 2018, it has been a source of major contention. Pakistan argues that the project violates the treaty by diverting water from the Jhelum, impacting its downstream flow and affecting its own hydropower generation. Another bone of contention is the Ratla hydroelectric project, also on the Chenab River in Indian-administered Kashmir. Pakistan objects to this project as well, claiming it violates the treaty's provisions and will harm its share of the Chenab's waters. The project remains stalled due to these ongoing disagreements. These disputes highlight the complexities of implementing the treaty on the ground. The language of the treaty, while aiming for clarity, has left room for interpretation, leading to disagreements over technical specifications, design elements, and their potential impact on downstream water flow. The Indus Water Treaty, despite its imperfections, has been a remarkable feat, surviving wars and diplomatic standoffs. It stands as a testament to the possibility of cooperation, even amidst deep-rooted mistrust. However, the treaty's future hinges on both countries' ability to navigate the choppy waters of climate change and evolving needs. The treaty has a built-in dispute resolution mechanism, a 3-tiered process designed to address disagreements. It starts with discussions between the permanent Indus commissions of both countries. If that fails, a neutral expert is brought in, followed by the option of international arbitration. Yet this mechanism, while well-intentioned, has also exposed cracks. Disagreements over the interpretation of the treaty's provisions, procedural delays, and a lack of trust have hampered its effectiveness. Experts believe that for the treaty to survive, a spirit of cooperation rather than confrontation is crucial. Modernizing the treaty to reflect 21st century realities, incorporating climate change adaptation strategies, and fostering greater transparency in data sharing are seen as essential steps. The future of the Indus Basin depends on whether India and Pakistan choose the path of cooperation or allow their shared water resources to become yet another battleground in their long and troubled history.